Here come the boys. Y'all ready to go swimming, baby? Come on. Give it up. Get out of that water. I tried telling y'all, it's swim lessons, baby.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here today. My name is Dallas Hanson. It's an honor to have you along for another Swim Lessons, the podcast episode. Shout out to everybody who's joined here in the last couple weeks. It's been a big surge, if you will, in subscribers and listeners. So welcome if you're brand new here. My guest today, it's a fun one. Jaxon Gunville. Jaxon owns the following records for Minot State University. All-time career three-pointers made. He's got the D2 single season record for three-pointers made in a season. And oh, by the way, he scored 1,000 points for Minot State University, who just came off their best year of all time as a team. The Minot State Beavers head coach Merkin. And Jaxon and I talked about how, because his story is interesting. So his story goes like this. He graduated from Minot High, played basketball, football, decides to keep it in Minot, and he goes to Minot State University, which is an interesting play, a great play in my mind, but a very interesting one, and it worked out for him. So we talk about that, just talk about his life, and it was a really, really, really fun time for me, and I know you'll enjoy it too, especially if you're a basketball fan. But before we get to Mr. Gunville, we're going to talk about PSP Network. It's game day, baby. It's time to get up. It's softball season and baseball season. There's only one place to watch those two sports, and it's PSP Network. Make sure you listen up for when their upcoming events will be happening by checking them out at psp.network, or just give them a subscription at PSP Network. Nick Holberg and his crew do an amazing job. I know they've got a plethora of softball and baseball games coming up, so make sure you check out their scheduled events on their Facebook page or just online. Are you looking to have lunch in Williston, North Dakota? Well, let me tell you where you need to go eat. It's called River's Edge Bar and Grill, and they are known for offering the best happy hour in town, providing unbeatable deals in a lively atmosphere. Guests can also enjoy a variety of entertaining activities. Why am I so out of breath? Today? Guests can also enjoy a variety of entertaining activities, including bingo, trivia, and the very popular Name That Tune. Come on down to River's Edge for great drinks, great food, and great fun. Next up is Glasso Angus, a proud sponsor of Swim Lessons, the podcast, your premier source for registered Black Angus cattle since 1973. Glasso Angus cattle showcase dominance, durability, and my favorite word, docility. They're built to thrive on the northern plains. Check them out. That's Glasso, Glasoe. Hey folks, also make sure you check out Plains Window Cleaning, interior and exterior window cleaning on residential and commercial buildings throughout North Dakota. Call Jacob today at 701-609-0405. Again, that's Jacob Broughton at Plains Window Cleaning. Appreciate all our sponsors who made today possible. Don't forget, this is a big one. Please, 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 it'll take you literally 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Subscribe to Swim Lessons, the podcast on YouTube. We've got a new goal of 1,000. So if we can hit that, we can really start going somewhere. We hit our goal of 500, so we're trying to get to 1,000, and that would help us out a lot, especially with the algorithm. So make sure you subscribe to YouTube, but appreciate everybody joining you. It's a true honor for you to be here and join. We got some big guests coming up in the sports world, so make sure you tune along. But here we go with Jaxon Gunville, the three-point assassin. Okay, so remember I said I had a surprise for you?
Yes.
Okay, so I've never done this before, but I want to start out this podcast with some words from head basketball coach Merkin on you. So I texted him this morning, I'm like, you to sum up what he means to you. Here's what he wrote back. Jaxon is exactly the success story that we want to represent Minot State basketball. He's a local guy who stayed home to play. Not only does he break some all-time records, but he helps us have the best season in Minot State basketball history. But it's not because of the records. It's because of how much he grew as a leader and how much he impacted our team that way. Now he will graduate with honors and make a difference in the Minot community. Jaxon is a great success story. Wow. Thoughts on that?
That means a lot coming from Coach Merkin. We've definitely had our battles throughout the years, but at the end of the day, I understood that it's all love, and he understands that too. And I think the thing that I'm most proud of for myself hearing that is how he thought I grew as a leader. Coming in my first and second year, I think my priorities were a little bit out of line.
What do you mean?
I think that I was kind of too worried about myself in the sense of, I had a pretty successful high school career, and I was used to being the guy kind of and scoring a lot. And I just had to adjust to the role change, and playing not as much as I was in high school kind of was just a big adjustment for me. And I just didn't have the best attitude. So after my third year, we had a pretty good heart-to-heart sit down. And
you and Merkin,
me and Merkin, yeah, in our postseason meeting, and we
Can you tell us a little bit?
We kind of got it all out there. I kind of discussed how I was just frustrated with how my role diminished and stuff throughout the year. And him and the assistant coach at the time, H, they sat down and showed me some clips of just like body language stuff throughout the year, and it really was an eye opener for me, because it's like, I'm the problem here. Like, I need to get better. I can't blame others for what's been going on, when I need to take a look inward and understand that I need to be better first. And then when I started to do that is when I really started to buy into the whole team success thing more than the individual self. And I think that's just been great for not only basketball wise, but just for life. It's brought a whole new outlook on life for me, and just that, hey, just be happy and grateful that you're here. Not everybody gets to do this, and it's a super fun experience. And my basketball career kind of took off from there at Minot State when I started buying into the team success and not worrying so much about myself. Honestly, the self stuff came a lot easier because I wasn't as worried about it. And I credit Coach Merkin a lot to that, to kind of humbling me in a ways, and that really helped. And I think that's part of the reason why we started to see some more success in the last 2 years. And it's been great.
Hey folks, are you craving authentic, mouth-watering smoked meats? Well, let me tell you where to go. It's Bronson's Smokehouse in Beulah, North Dakota. They've been serving up legendary country-style sausage, jerky, and Slim Jims for over 40 years. Order online today at bronsonsmokehouse.com. That's Bronson's, BRONSONS, smokehouse.com, and taste the tradition. Let's talk a little bit about your career at Minot State. So you hold the D2 single-season record for three-pointers made, 82. You scored 1,000 points in your career at Minot State. And then the all-time career record for three-point field goals made with 264. Yeah, I guess you bought in. I mean, dude.
And I think
awesome.
That's a little bit low of a number. I think that's the numbers from when I broke it. So I think it's a little bit more than that. But
it's more than that now?
I think so.
Well,
Should be, but
because I'd paid attention to Minot State a little bit, but this year the thing that grabbed me the most was the big man from Australia, like a stud. And I just saw today he entered the transfer portal, and he's at Idaho State now.
Yep, he's going to go play at Idaho State and kind of reunite with his old buddy Connor Hollenbeck.
I was just going to say it wasn't the Hollenbeck kid.
Yeah,
because he came up and played in the Classic last year.
Yep,
and he was impressive.
Yeah, and he was going to play this year until he had a little bit of a knee injury that they're kind of just playing it safe up there. So you understand why. But
what's your thoughts on the big Aussie leaving Minot State?
Obviously, we want what's best for him, and I think that's like in the world we live in with the NIL stuff. Hopefully, he got some money up there to go play, and to be able to say you're a Division I basketball player, that means something too. And this is going to push him to levels that I think he hasn't been pushed yet. So it'll be a super good test for him. But it kind of sucks too, because you'd wish to keep him around. But I know he's going to be good wherever he goes, he's going to Idaho State. He's going to be great there, because if you can rebound the way he does and be that dominant, it's going to translate to whatever level.
Man, I mean, going to Minot State games, I went to a few home games because obviously I did the pod with Merkin, and I kind of like, okay, this guy's really cool. And then like the pageantry before the game, like you have the intro video and you got like the kids zone and you got all this cool, like they're selling beer at the game. Like that's a good thing brewing at the Beaver games. Yeah,
they've really been placing an emphasis on that the past few years. When I came in, the crowds weren't great. It's kind of a testament to how the team was doing too. The team wasn't doing great. Crowds weren't coming out to support. And in the past couple of years, they've really been working on the game day experience for all the sports. And I think that really started to show with football this year. They kind of turned that program around. Coach Shields been doing a great job over there. And it really translated when we started winning last year, I think. Especially the turning point, I think, was that Mankato win when they were the number one team in the country. And that crowd that night was awesome. I think it was alumni night. And it was awesome, and that translated to this whole year. The crowds were great, and they had that fun thing with the kids in the end zone kind of thing, and just overall community support has really been on the uptick, and we need to just keep doing a good job of that as a community, and I know we will.
Well, Coach Merkin mentioned it in the text, but this was, and you were a big part of it, the best year that Minot State basketball's had ever. Tell us about this year, man, because everybody knows you start off the year terrific. You win so many games in a row, and then, they go on a little bit of a slide, lose like 2 or 3 in a row, win a couple more. Then you kind of end the year on a weird slide, and then you bounce back. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about this year, because it was a year of ups and downs, but you guys ended it on a high.
I think coming into the year, there were a lot of question marks, to be honest. We had a lot of guys leave from last year, Ben, KB, Mike, Connor. So 4 of our starting 5 left, and, you hear it in the offseason, like, hey, how are you guys going to be this year? And it's like, well, I don't know. We got a lot of new guys, so we'll just have to see how we gel. And I think from the first day everybody stepped on campus, it was evident that we were going to be a close-knit group. Everybody really understood each other. And there were some times you butt heads with guys, but you understand at the end of the day, it's all love, and that we really just bonded and clicked really well as a group. So to have that is a big reason why we started the year 17-0. And then when we...
That's so great to start.
I know.
Dude.
It's like, holy cow, are we ever going to lose? And then we go down and get humbled at Sioux Falls. But when we went on our slides, it was really good that we clicked and stuff, because it's not like we're turning and pointing fingers at each other and saying, hey, it's your fault and all this. We really came together as a group, and we had some team-oriented meetings without the coaches and stuff, and that kind of, you could just get everything out, whatever you wanted to say. And I think that really just is a testament to how we were as a team. We just loved each other, and when you love each other, that's a huge thing, and you're gonna go a long ways with that.
Hey folks, hope you are enjoying this episode, but support for Swim Lessons, the podcast, comes from Brandon Weber, your Edward Jones financial advisor at 1600 2nd Avenue Southeast, Minot, North Dakota. For more information, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC. What was it like making it to the national tournament? Because you always hear about how, they got so close, but they didn't make nationals. And then this year you make it. I mean, just explain it to us.
It's a surreal feeling.
Yeah,
for it to be the first time in program history and for me to be able to be on the team doing that's a really cool thing. Last year we were gutted at the end of the year when we didn't make it, and we thought that we let a few games last year slip away. So that was a big motivator coming into this year, saying like, we're 1 or 2 games away from making this national tournament. We don't have to be anyone but ourselves, and we were ourselves all year, and we kind of rode number 50 this year, Caleb.
Yeah.
He's just a tremendous player to feed off of, and especially if you miss a shot, you just know there's probably a 50% chance he's going to put it back in, and it's just, you just sit back and laugh sometimes because of just how awesome he is.
Well, another thing Merkin mentioned in that text that I think is a really cool part of your story is like how you went to Minot High, had a great career there, and then you stayed in Minot, went to Minot State. Let's talk about Minot High, because right now, that head boys job, Dean Winchesky, one of the GOATs of coaching, resigned because he wants to spend more time with his family, which I 100% get, by the way. But now you got that job opened up. And I mean, you played at Minot High, had a lot of success. Tell us what Minot High basketball is like.
Minot High basketball, I think it's the best program in the state. I don't think there's really even a debate for
Where's
it.
Tyler Rudolph? Where's Tyler Rudolph?
I might be a little bit biased. I never made state, so that's kind of a drawback of my Minot High career. But I think just the rich tradition that we have there, and that job's opened up like twice in the past however many years. Like whoever gets that job is going to be there for a while, and it's a coveted job, and I would think there's going to be a lot of people applying for that. I know I think one of our coaches from this year might be applying for it. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say too much about that, but I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
But I know whoever gets that job is going to come in and do a great job, not only because you got to be good to get that job, but there's so many great assistant coaches there that are going to, whoever comes and gets that job, Coach Horn, Coach Fow, Pearson, all those guys there, they're going to make sure that that person does everything right and keeps the magician tradition rolling. And
they're not going to let him not be successful.
Right.
Like Brian is so in depth with players, and then Pearson does a lot of different. I mean, it's a great group.
Yeah, and talking about Horn, he's one of my favorite coaches I've ever had. He was that one guy who just would balance Dean out a little bit, because Dean's that loud, really show it guy, and then Horn's like the guy behind the scenes that's like telling him to calm down and stuff, and he's the one like just like, hey, no, I know he's gonna get on you about this. Just calm down, take a breath, and those two worked so well together just because of that relationship they had. And I know that Horn's going to be great, and the whole staff's going to be great for whoever comes in, and they're going to do a great job. And
yeah, Brian's a goat. I mean, I know you saw some family pictures down here, but he's my girlfriend's uncle, and he's like the same around family stuff, just like the ultimate, like just a true G, like the homie.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting whoever gets it, because they're, hopefully they keep all the assistants on. Then you're just kind of seeing the same thing. And we know with Minot North and now, Minot High, that new like inner city rivalry, there's going to be a lot of different moving pieces.
Yeah.
So it's something new for that new head coach.
Yeah. And I'm just excited to watch my two younger brothers go up and through that program. Jalen got a little bit of...
You got a younger brother than Jalen?
Jalen, or Jace. Yep.
Jace?
He's in 6th grade.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a pretty good shooter. He can shoot the thing.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's why I accidentally called you Jalen earlier, but I called a lot of the games.
Yep.
And dude, he's a pretty good shooter himself.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one thing we can do.
Who taught you guys how to shoot?
My dad.
Really?
Credit to Jeff. Yep, he could really stroke it. So.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, but you have the unorthodox kind of side wind.
Yeah.
But it goes in. It's beautiful. I love to watch it.
Yeah.
Like you came up to Crosby, just so everybody listening, 8 a.m., here comes Gunville, 10 threes in the first game, and it's like 8:45 in the morning. I'm like, okay, Jaxon, I think you're ready to play. But like, how did you guys and your dad teaching you the love of the game and kind of that unorthodox style?
Is it unorthodox? I just think it's kind of a higher release. And he really taught us from kind of when we'd all have our jump shots like down here and stuff. And then when for me, it was the summer of going into my 9th grade year. He wanted me to get it up higher than my head so that I could like get it off against taller defenders and stuff, because I'm not the biggest guy. And I was so mad at him because he wouldn't let me shoot form shots outside of about 3 feet for about a month. It was ridiculous. He just had me shoot like just form shot after form shot after form shot, like a couple hundred makes a day. Wouldn't even let me shoot outside the free throw line just to dial in those mechanics and stuff. And I was about ready to like just give it up. I was like, this is so dumb. And I mean, looking back on it, it worked pretty good. And Jagger could shoot it. Jalen could shoot it. Jace is going to be able to shoot it. So he's the true shot doctor.
Dude, it's so funny. Just last night I was watching on YouTube a thing about Steph Curry, and they talked about the same thing, how his dad, like one summer he wanted to quit. And his mom was like, hey, your dad knows what he's talking about. He played in the NBA, but I'm going to give it up to you. If you want to quit, you can quit. But if you want to do it, you got to do it right. And that's the same thing. Like he would shoot it below, and then he kind of became, and that's when the magic started happening. Yeah,
it's crazy how when you're young, you feel like you know everything. Yeah. And then you grow up and you're like, oh yeah, my parents knew better, and I just wasn't willing to listen. So there was a lot of stubbornness that went into it, because he was trying to like work on my arc and stuff. So I just completely over exaggerated just to be a jerk. And there were some trying nights, but I mean, at the end of the day, the results I think have spoken for themselves, and it's been a good thing. And I'm glad that I've had my dad in my corner to be able to help me with my shot and just really everything in life whenever I need anything.
I was just going to ask that, how big is it to have not only, your dad to help you play basketball, but to help you out throughout life? Because not everybody gets that. Yeah. Like that's a big thing.
Yeah. It's a great thing. And I'm one who kind of tries to suppress my feelings a lot, and I've grown better at that kind of in the past few years. And I've just been better about, if I'm going through something or if I've got something on my mind, that to get it out and talk to people, because holding it in, there's this stigma about men that they just like hold stuff in and they're never willing to talk to people, and they can just toughen it up. And that's just completely the opposite. I think there's tremendous strength in reaching out for help. And I think that shows a lot more toughness than just holding it in and like claiming you're just tough by just toughing it out. So I've kind of been able to confide in my dad about certain things, and my mom too, just my whole family. I have a great support staff, and it's just been great. And I think it's helped me grow into a better man as a result of it.
Do you ever get a chance to talk to like Dean or Horn throughout your college career? Brian Hornecker?
Dean hit and miss, because he's just so busy with stuff, and he's always chasing his kids around too. So whenever I see him up at the Dome and stuff, though, I make sure to talk to him. And I've seen Horn a couple times. I know he was watching his grandkids basketball camp like before our season started, so I caught up with him for about a half hour, and it was just good to it's always good to chop it up with those guys. They mean a lot to me, and it's just always good to talk with them.
Where's Derek DeSette going to go?
I hope he comes here.
Yeah.
I've kind of heard some rumblings that he might have here high on his list. I think it'd be great for him to come home. The community would rally so much around him, and he's been so great for the community, and the community has been so great for him. So if you're listening, Derek,
come home.
Yep, come home.
What do you think about Grant Nelson? What's going to happen with him next?
Oh, he's a stud. We
Dude,
played
he's the
against him in
best.
high school, and I
What
remember.
was he like in high school?
I remember it vividly. He won the tip off against our big. Their guard throws it right back to him. He goes like 2 dribbles, like insane cross, step back, just hits a step back 3, and I was like, "You're kidding me! Like this is what we're in for." And we ended up blowing him out because his high school team wasn't the greatest,
You
but
blew them out?
we beat him by like 30.
Devil's Lake, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean that's just magician.
Yeah,
You're not going to come into the Magi's place and beat him. But he's just a great player and a good dude. I had a chance to play with him in a couple AAU tournaments, and he's just a good dude, humble guy, and I'm just super happy for his success that he's had. Not against my Tar Heels, that one Final Four, that was
Bro.
kind of sickening.
Yeah.
But it was good to see his success. I just wish he could have done it against anyone but my Tar Heels. But I'm rooting for him in the next chapter, wherever that may be.
I'm hoping NBA.
I'm hoping he can get drafted,
Yeah.
or if not,
G
find a
League?
spot in a G League team,
Yeah.
work his way up. And
Yeah.
I think he's definitely got the tools for it.
Bro, he's legit as it comes.
Yep.
I mean, just
Dial in that shot a little bit more, and he's
Oh.
got it. He's got it all.
How about Eagle Staff? South Carolina?
Oh, yeah,
South Carolina?
and that's just a cool story for a guy
Yeah.
that just works hard. That's all he knows is work. He's obviously gifted. He's got a lot of size, and he can shoot the rock, but that doesn't come without work.
Yeah.
And he's one of those just true gym rats, and I'm super happy for him and his success. And again, I hope he got paid some good money too.
I wonder
in this
what it
day and
was.
age with some NIL, I hope that he got paid and can kind of give back to his family too. And I know that's a big thing for him. Family's a big thing.
Wants
for
to take
him.
care of his mom.
Right.
Which I think is sick.
That's a cool
Wait,
thing. He's just a humble guy, and I'm super happy for him.
Put yourself in this scenario, okay? Say you're Eagle Staff or like a player that has you're number 1 in the portal.
No.
Okay. You go out, Kansas Jayhawks. Gunville, here's $400K.
No.
Come play with us, have a chance to go to the Final Four. Okay, hold the phone. BYU calls you. Gunville, here's $800K. We're going to be okay, but we promise you the minutes, but we probably won't make a Final Four. Okay, so now you got this $800,000 or play for the Jayhawks or like Duke, and you're looking at 200
Not
to
Duke.
400.
I wouldn't play for
Are you
Duke.
North Carolina?
I wouldn't pay for Duke for any
But
amount of money.
what are you doing
It's
as-
on the record?
As a former great collegiate athlete, what are you doing in that situation where it's either, okay, I can take the money and take a big chance, or I can play for one of these really good teams and kind of have that name on the back of the jersey and have a Final Four chance?
Oh man, that's tough.
That's a
because
tough one.
I love winning and I love money. Anyone who knows me knows I love money. That's a tough one. I think I'd go with the Jayhawks. I'd take a little bit less money for. We got to tour Allen Fieldhouse when we got to go down
how
to
was
our national
that?
tournament. It was just awesome. I mean, BYU. I'm sure it's actually BYU's got that number 1 prospect coming in.
And you
like
could
the
be the
number-
next Jimmer.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Or
I
say,
think I would take the Jayhawks just because of how
Yeah.
legendary of a program it is.
playing at the Fog.
And then I would beg them for more money.
ball out.
Yeah.
Was anybody there when you got like any coaches? that was
No,
South
because
there?
they were playing in the Big 12 tournament that night. I think
Oh.
they had, who did they have that night? It wasn't Houston. It was someone they had that night at the Big 12 tournament, which was actually in Kansas City. So it was about an hour ride away. But some NAIA team was practicing on there. But Merkin knew somebody from who had previously been at Minot State that was there. So she kind of plugged us and got us on the floor and got us to tour the whole thing. And it was pretty cool.
Do you guys get to do like a shoot around there at all? Or
No, we didn't.
just
but-
what was it like in there? Pretty
Just-
like
Like you just are in shock the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
big spot.
Yeah.
Who is your? I know you said Tar Heels, but who's your NFL?
Colts.
Dude,
Yeah.
what?
Peyton Manning.
I have McAfee.
Yeah. That Mac, when he laid out the dude on the sideline that one time. Oh, man.
Well,
that was awesome.
the drama between McAfee and now like the Colts. What's his name? The starting quarterback,
Richardson?
the dude who benched himself. Yeah, they hate each other.
Oh,
Hate.
why?
Well, because Pat McAfee went on a show after Richardson subbed
Oh,
out on like 3rd
yeah.
and 4 or whatever, and
Tapped
Pat's like,
out.
"What are you doing? Like, you can't do that." And then Richardson like clapped back, like,
Wow.
"Dude, what do you know? You were a punter." Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. So now McAfee gave up his season ticket long and the suite he had. Gave it up. He's like, "Nope, I'm good."
Wow. They're
Like the Colts
beefing.
want to put that on.
Wow.
Oh yeah, big time.
We're
beef.
such a poverty franchise. It's
You
ridiculous.
think so?
We're probably going to go 9-8 this year and just barely miss the wild card and get no good draft position.
You need like a T.Y. Hilton to spark.
He was so special.
Dallas Clark.
I thought we were going to get Brock Bowers last year in the draft, and then the Raiders scooped him. I hope we get Tyler Warren. But
Did you see their...
Richardson's not going to be able to throw him the ball. He's just going to sail it over his head.
He's bad.
And Daniel Jones isn't any better.
Yeah. Oof. I thought he would stay with the Vikes. Daniel Jones. Why not?
Kevin O'Connell's a great coach.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't choose to stick there. But Shane Steichen, he's a good coach, I think. But we need to feed Jonathan Taylor as many times as he can handle and beef up the O-line in the draft. And
Did you see that the Colorado's retiring Shadur Sanders jersey number? He went like...
And Travis Hunter.
I think he's 13-12 as a starter. 13-12.
Coach Prime.
And you're going to retire the number 13-12?
I think that's wild.
I see the Travis Hunter thing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's a two-way wide receiver. I can see that. But
I think that's wild.
That's glaze.
Yeah. Happy for him, though. I'm not going to hate on him. I'll be happy for him.
Me too. Okay, so what's next? Are you going to stick around Minot? What's the life looking like for you now?
So I actually work in real estate now. I've been selling real estate for a couple of years now.
Well, give us a plug. Where can people find you?
701 Realty.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's been good. Business has slowly been starting to pick up and stuff, and I just need to start getting myself out there a little more. So, hey, maybe if you're listening on the podcast, give me a shout if you're looking for anything. But I think that's more of a side gig, especially to start, because there's a lot of agents in town there's a certain amount of agents in town that do a lot of the business. So there's probably 10 agents in town that do 90% of the business. And then there's a lot of other people in town that are doing stuff with their friends and family and stuff, kind of like me. So it's tough to get it's tough to get really good at it right away. So there's something else you need to do probably to supplement that income. And I'm still kind of trying to figure that out as we go. And I've got a few months to decide, but in a few months, I'm hoping to have a pretty good idea of what I want to do.
Is that test hard that they make you take for realty? I've heard, because a few of my buddies got into that and they said it was kind of tough.
It can be a little bit hard. I think if you put the time in for the studying, it's not too bad. I failed the first time, and so if you miss it by any amount, they just call it a fail.
Oh.
I missed by one question on the first try. So there's two ones. There's a state and the national portion. Passed the state and missed the national by one.
No.
So I just took it again the next week and got it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. What are like some of the questions?
I don't even remember, man.
Just there.
And so Andrew and McKenna Goodmanson are the brokers there, and they've been so great to me. They're super generous and stuff, and they actually paid for all my stuff, and they paid me to study basically, and I got to just job shadow them. So I'm super grateful for that. And they basically told me, "Hey, man, just get this, and like you'll forget about everything on the test because you don't need to know any of that. It's just like you just got to do it to get it."
They helped you out a lot.
Yeah. So I was like asking Goody, I was like, "Hey, do you know like what this answer is to the question?" He's like, "No." Like, no clue.
Really?
But he does so much business in town, and he's just so good because he's so good at networking. And
that's half the battle with anything.
Yeah.
Networking.
You just got to network and have a good group of people around you, and it'll
like
take you a long ways. Yeah.
Shout out Luke Sorum, Logan Kress.
Yeah.
How good was Tyler Rudolph in that DC Classic,
yeah,
bro?
It was just basically get him the ball and get out of the way. Just go stand. Us shooters could just go stand in the corner, and they're not going to help. So it's like, okay, we'll have Rudy go at these older guys and just... Well, and they weren't helping either.
No. Well, the championship game got tight at the end.
Yeah.
What happened there? Because you guys end up winning by one.
Yeah.
But
we weren't playing the greatest of defense, and they were getting a lot of open looks. That team screened really well.
Dude, they're just guys that always play together, and they're always kind of tight like that. And
yeah.
They win that term a lot. So, I mean, shout out to the underachievers.
We found a way. We didn't underachieve this time.
How about when Logan Kress took the chin shot, bro?
And then he suited up for the next game too. He's just a tough dude.
Dude, I'm ordering a hot dog and the food stand's right by where
I was right there and it was
the
just
shot.
gushing.
Bro, he takes his hand off and and I had like 20 napkins. I'm like, Logan, put that on.
He looked at me and he's like, "Is it bad?" And I'm like, "Look at the floor, dude." And he's like, "Oh, it's bad." I was like,
and then I'm driving him up to the hospital and he's going, "My jaw is killing me." I'm like, dude, don't tell me your jaw is broke. That would be the worst case scenario. But luckily,
because then he couldn't talk on the bench.
Yeah.
And he's our most vocal guy too.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
I loved when you guys would call a timeout and you hear, "Let's go,
Yeah,
let's go." You need that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Coach Kress.
I love
and
it.
Coach Sorum. Passing on the wisdom.
Do you have a good time up in Crossing?
Oh yeah, it's super fun.
You gonna come back?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. It was good to get to know a couple new guys and a couple other guys that I've known before, but just to catch up with them is super fun.
Who botched in the 3-point? Did you buy yourself?
Dan Yale. I apologize to him after. Yeah, I went for the most and I just sucked.
What happened?
I just tightened up.
Really?
It's the first time I've ever had like money on me for shooting. And it's different with the high school 3-line.
Yeah.
Like it's just a different feeling. It's
Yeah.
like shooting a mid-range jump shot rather than a
Well,
3.
you're grabbing them off the rack.
Yeah.
Whereas
And
if
I was just nervous. The moment was too big for me in that moment, but thankfully I've got Ray this weekend.
You're going to be at Ray?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to ref, so I'll be there too.
Yeah. I'll be giving you a hard time for sure.
Should I buy you at the Ray 3-point?
You should. Because I might not go for anything. I might go for like $5.
Guess who got the guy that won Crosby? Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you get him for?
175
I
bucks.
didn't even know who that guy was. But he could stroke it.
Bro, he was the blonde. He used to be the UPS guy in Crosby.
Wow.
And I just always seen him and he was super cool. And then I saw him like, hey man, you're playing the classic? Yeah, he's got that ponytail and dude, he just goes out and just.
I was hoping Ben could get it because I know he made the final round.
That
I
was
rooting
tight
for my guy, but
that
guy could shoot it.
You know that what's the kid that ended up getting 3rd or 4th? The taller guy from the Tennessee Bulldogs.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
his stat line was insane for that week.
34 a game, and he was going to he told me visit Ole Miss last week
for basketball.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he was going on a trip because he played at Arkansas Pine Bluff last year.
Okay.
Entered the portal, and then he was going to see Ole Miss.
What was he doing up in Crosby? What was that team doing up there? What's their connection there?
So he came and played 4 years ago. I think they were from this area.
Okay.
And they were in the National Guard.
Yeah.
And then he got transferred to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And then he just came back up.
Gotcha.
Just likes coming up to play.
Nice.
Yeah. So shout out to Devin Smith. Appreciate that for Tennessee. Well, listen, bro, we've been at this for a while. I know we're going to watch the NBA playing games. We got to get back. But Jaxon, let me in on your life. When things aren't going your way, what do you say to yourself to keep moving forward? Like, what's something you can leave the audience with here to keep moving forward in times of despair?
For me, a big thing is just not dwelling on past mistakes. There's a lot of things that we as people would do differently if we had it to do over, but unfortunately, we don't have that option to do it over. So approaching every day like it's a new day, which it is, and just taking the day for what it is and not dwelling on past mistakes and just looking forward and saying, how can I be better? That's something that I still got a lot to work on in that regard, but it's something that I'm trying to apply to my everyday life, not dwelling on past mistakes and just moving forward with stuff and finding out a way to be better.
I love that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, make a quick plug here for Instagram, 701 Realty. I know you're getting into that side of the world, but personally, what's a good plug for your social media so people can follow you?
Instagram, I think it's Jaxon_Gunville. Twitter, I think it's Jax Gunville, and then Facebook, I don't even know what my Facebook is.
It's all good, I'm sure. Probably just your name. But.
Just look up my name and yeah.
Well, listen, man, I really appreciate the time, and hey, congratulations on a hell of a career for Minot State, and I'll see you at a few Minot High games next year.
Yeah, oh yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
get you in the booth for PSP a little bit.
We'll see.
Come on,
hit me up if you want, and we'll see.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap. Jaxon Gunville.